hopefully they roll out. So like I said before, this is what's called our orientation lap. So we're just going to kind of roll around the track, not going fast at all, just here to get familiarity with every part of the track. So you see those tall cones on your left, those are going to be marker cones. And the green cones to your right or left, depending on where we are turning cones. So essentially what we're doing is we're setting up a perfect racing line as well as perfect turn-in points and brake and gas points. So we turn in at the green cone. This is a technical corner right here, so we'll wash out to this green cone right here. That's another turn-in cone. Turn in. Here is an apex cone. It's an apex cone because it's on the tightest point of the corner. That's how you always know, because you'll be trying to turn towards it. And you know it's an outside cone, like a turn-in cone, if you're turning away from it like this. So here's another apex cone right here. We'll get out onto the short chute. Now, this is probably the most treacherous part of the entire course right here because it seems like you have a straightaway, but you really don't have a lot of room right here. It's easy to overdrive, easy to kind of run off. There's been a lot of calamity here in NASCAR races over the years. Get to another apex cone. Now, this one you don't really want to turn towards it that much. We're going to do this kind of double apex, right? So we just passed the green cone on the left. That's the first apex. Here's the second apex. So here is when you can start to let the car wash out a little bit. And by washing out, I mean you kind of come up to a little bit higher on the racetrack, and you point towards this turning cone. Turn in once you get there. Then we get to our next set of braking cones. We're going to brake in between these cones. No further than right here at the single orange cone. No further back than the double orange cone. Turn in at the turn-in cone. And apex at the apex cone. Now we're going to practice a switch around, a change, as you will. Like you guys talked in the classroom. The lead car can go ahead and drop to the bottom. And the back two cars can go ahead and pass to the high side. Without putting ourselves in any bad spots on the racetrack. And then we're not running a full layout today, so we're basically doing almost a U-turn right here. You might notice the blue signs to your right, those are downshift points, so we will be using those today. While we're doing this, guys, let's try and keep a nice, tight formation. So we really don't want to be any closer than, like, 2 car lengths. We don't want to be really any further than 3 or 4, If we're any further away, that could lead to some mistakes, right? You guys are trying to follow my line. If you guys are not keeping it close enough to each other, then the person behind you might miss some details about where my line is or where I'm getting on the brakes. Right? If you think about it, we're kind of like an accordion. If I brake, if I brake in the middle of the corner right here, if you're too far back, you're going to hit that brake a little bit later, and then the guy behind you is going to hit it a little bit later, and so on and so forth until we get too close to each other. And that makes a pretty big difference when we're getting on the brakes into the back part of the track before we hit that U-turn. A lot of this is just remembering what you guys talked about in the classroom, looking where you're going, braking in straight lines, not asking the tires to do too much, string theory, acting like a string is connected to the steering wheel and the pedals. That way you're only giving the car one input at a time. Let's go ahead and do a change real quick. The lead car, go ahead and pull down. Next car, catch up. Middle now, we're going to have to make sure that we stay but we probably need to keep it about 2 car lengths. When we were in that tight section just to our right, you see we're waving the checkered flag here, which means the session is over, so we're going to start slowing down. If you keep it closer than a car length and you happen to miss my braking zone by even a little bit, it could lead to a collision. So right now, I would say probably a bit too far, but we'll get this better as we go on. So biggest thing, guys, is just making sure you know where your markers are, right? Like all good professional race car drivers use markers on the racetrack. So we're looking for these cones right here to apex. We're looking for these brake markers to brake and turn-in cones to turn in. We're using all those markers to help us to make sure that we run the most smooth and consistent lap as possible. And of course, our main objective is have fun today. I missed this little green cone right here. We're going to try and get close to that when we actually do our laps. But when we pull off like this, I'll let you know. You guys will also see the checkered flag. So we'll pull off onto the apron and stay on this painted section for now. And then once the asphalt turns the same color, we'll smoothly transition over to the flatter part. Nicely done. And of course, you guys remember which stall you guys were in, because you guys are smart cookies. You guys are in stall A2. So once we get back in the garage, go ahead and you'll see a cone that has well, actually, we're pulling down pit road here. So I believe we're doing the guest swap out. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that real quick, and we'll get changed up. Guys, once again, we'll take a left turn here, staying close to the painted line until we get off of pit road. And we're clear out onto the track so we can start using all of the racetrack. Go ahead and start getting slowed down here. They're sending us out pretty quickly, so we should be out here in probably less than a minute. Clear to roll, y'all. Alright, so now we're running our first official run. Make sure we get up to speed a little bit quicker here. But for now, let's just make sure we're doing everything exactly as we need to. So turning in turn-in cones, and apexing at the apex cones, braking at the brake cones. Keeping in mind where we look where we're going. And also do one input at a time. So either gas or brake or steering. None of any of those at the same time. And middle cars, make sure that we stay tucked up. Actually, both of you guys towards the back there, we want to be as tucked up as we can be without being any closer than about 2 car lengths. Formation's looking better, I like it. Alright, let's go ahead and execute a change, a swap. Make sure we get the wheels as efficiently as we can. When you go to the back, you catch up to the tail of the back as quickly as possible. There we go. So then we get to the stick walk up here, and we get to the brakes. And shifting up the blue sign. And turning into the turn cone, apexing, outer apexing in the outer apexing. What I want to see is coming straight off that double apex section. Those 2 cones, 2 green cones back there, those are double apexes. Same thing right here, they're double apexes. Their goal when coming off the corner is to be as straight as possible, so that way we set ourselves up for the next corner. It's hard to come out of here straight, but we try and do it as best we can. See how I'm trying to reduce my turning as much as possible, because I'm getting into a braking zone. Alright, let's go ahead and execute a change. That's it on. Go ahead, bring it to 6. Apex and the outer apex. Now, honestly, I like your enthusiasm, but you're a little too close for comfort. Try and keep the tick farther away. That's a bit more appropriate right there. Somewhere between where you were and where you are now. For the most part, we've been doing pretty good on our formation, guys. marker right here, so start slowing down. Oh, real quick, let's see straight entry into this corner right here. Not bad, not bad. We'll keep working on that. Essentially our goal is to almost act like we're going on a skateboard half pipe, right? Like you're just going up and down. We go up through that crest for the first double apex and then down, straight down through the entry of the second double apex. And that's going to maximize our braking effort. So we're going to go ahead and execute one more swap here. Just like before, we'll pull off onto the red, and then pull off onto the flatter part of the asphalt, which is all the same color. Let's try and keep it tucked up even when we're coming to pit road. There you go, nicely done. Be in the habit all day of staying tucked up to each other. No closer than 2 car lengths, because it's kind of once you're within 2 car lengths, it's easy to make a mistake and misjudge a braking zone, and you get too close to somebody. We don't want a collision today. Alright, so like I talked about before, now we will actually pull into our garage stall. Like I said, you guys are smart cookies, so you'll remember that we are in stall A2. And that is where you guys will park. Don't follow me, because I'll be pulling into another garage stall, and we'll get out and talk about this.